My name is Aldreama Harper. Welcome to the Organizedpreneur Podcast slash Podcast Launchpad. And I'm super excited today because I'm doing another interview with a serial entrepreneur, meaning she loves what she does and she does it all the time. Right? That's what serial entrepreneur is, right? I'll introduce my guest to you all in just a moment, but I just want to share a little bit about her journey. And so her name is Valerie Kim. And so Valerie is a serial entrepreneur, author, mentor for entrepreneurs, and world champion athlete. Nice. Okay. And so she's driven by her passion for entrepreneurship, hence the name serial entrepreneur. Valerie has dedicated herself to creating projects that seamlessly blend creativity, business acumen, and social impact. With an international background, she possesses, a unique ability to expand businesses across global markets. And so I'm super excited to talk to Valerie today about all of her entrepreneurial endeavors. And so we're going to dive in, talk about who she's serving and how she gets all of these other entrepreneurs in line. So Valerie, welcome to the Organizedpreneur Podcast. I'm so excited to have you today. So talk to me a little bit about what you do and who you serve and your journey. Let's just talk about that.
Hi, everyone. And first of all, thank you very much for having me here today. And as you mentioned, it's a blend of things, of passion, serving, but also it's kind of an adventure. Just directly after my graduation, like many, many years ago, I had a full-time job, but I was always feeling like I want to obtain this freedom to do what I really love to do because I really hated my job, even though socially wise, it was quite good to have, let's say this way. Nowadays, like it's evolved very naturally because of my background. Everything was happening to the point when I realized I have this calling to work with women, serve women, help them to heal, find their voice, because for many years we know we were suppressed or judged for whatever gifts we have, for the power we have. Intuition was more perceived as a curse than a blessing or like special gift. So I found it calling to really help women to find this confidence being who they are, find their purpose in life and unleash their voice. That's how the birth to platform I Speak Up, Light Up came into life. And this is like a blend of two things, like I'm mentoring women, help them, first of all, find what is this, like they're passionate about, especially women who are going through life transitioning phases like divorce, loss of close ones, maybe relocation, or when they become first-time moms, they very much lose themselves in motherhood or partnerships, relationships in general. And of course, when they find this gift, someone wants to turn it into a profitable business. This is like the second stage. I also help them to launch business that brings them not just money, but primarily fulfillment.
That is so powerful. I love it. I love it. So you've been doing this since 2017, correct?
Well, yeah, I've been in many different industries, including like investment, like property, tried myself in like what actually I'm good at, right? Went through my path of rediscovery, also on the way life was happening, right? So, and yes, since I think when I became first-time mom, I had this calling that I need to do something for women. That for me was like, why am I like, what is going on here? I like, why women, right? I've never really had this feeling like I need to do something with women because investment world is more like, as it in society,
it's male
dominated, right? And like it was really very strange. And I started actually to interview women and write a blog about how they reach success in different industries. And this tiny blog then transformed into in-person events, then to the platform that was calling Independent Women World, also Independent Women Summits. But then COVID happened and I became second-time mom and I faced the burnout. And then I needed to take a step back and really reassess again what I'm doing, why I'm serving people, who am I? And then on the process, I had this idea, I wanted to do like a documentary. So I embarked on this journey creating documentaries about women speaking up the truth, what they actually facing nowadays on their journey to success.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went further to, again, in-person events we're doing Middle East. This year we did 2 in Dubai and Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Next February we're doing again in Dubai. But then it's like, again, hit me like, okay, events are events, but what are you personally bringing on the table? How do you want to serve them? And just like really this year was transformational for me on many levels. And that's how new programs came into reality.
Gotcha. So I know that you're an author and a mentor and a world champion athlete. So are you coaching ladies, or are you, what does your program look like?
The program is around reinventing yourself and reigniting your life. Very often, as I mentioned, we have a tendency to lose ourselves, whether it's in the routine, but sometimes like what I went through is whether it's like, I know how it feels when you lose someone you love, for example, right? It's family. It's really the process that requires lots of healing, being really open to open your heart again and find the meaning of life, not in people or things, but actually in life itself. Again, coming through divorce or coming through relocations when you're in a completely different surrounding, and learning that, I see like the real pandemic, what is happening now with people, they're struggling from loneliness. And there's like, I don't know what to do with this, like, and men and women. Instead of like taking this as an opportunity to turn it into very powerful and healing solitude, where you can understand who you are, what you are, what is the ideal life you want to experience. I mean, ideal meaning, do you really, like, if you want to be in relationships, how do you want to feel? How your daily life looks like? Because very often people say, oh, I want to get married, or I want to get a partner. And when you get it, they're still not happy because they didn't realize how the real life or daily life looks like. The same with money. When they want to start their own business, it's very glamorous, picture of being an entrepreneur. Like, it's cool. But when it's in reality, it's how you're dealing with everyday stress, how you're managing your time and energy. If you also have kids, how you're going to bring this all together. So instead of being just delusional, to being really realistic, but at the same time, understand what does it mean for you to be an entrepreneur or to have this particular career. And when people have clarity what they want, it's easy to understand whom you should unbecome as the next step, and then whom do you want to become in this lifetime, or let's say at this particular moment in life. And then, of course, taking right actions, like aligned with yourself and not coming from survival or chaos or something you don't desire.
Yeah. So I know, as we were talking a little bit before we turned on the record button, I was sharing with you that, what got me, because one of the questions you asked me was, how did I get to, be, or organizedpreneur, right?
Yeah.
And so I mentioned that I was a professional organizer before, and where I would go to people's homes, and podcaster, and all of those, and I decided to combine those skills and create, what is the Organizedpreneur slash podcast launchpad. And so now I'm helping people to launch podcasts and be organized all at the same time. So with your extended resume, your resume of, mentoring people, I guess one of my questions is, so number one, did you know that this is what you wanted to do, or what was it that led you to this point? And I know you talked about, the pandemic, and all that. So, but did you always know this, or, Did you always know you were going to be a serial entrepreneur?
I
That's like
wanted to
several
be
questions, I know,
I
but
wanted to be a singer. When I was little,
really?
people are talking about like think what you wanted to do when you was a kid, right? When they're talking about life purpose or things like
Yeah.
that. But like my dad said, never is going to happen because, show business, this is and that. And I've already like planned on which stages I want to sing as a child, even where do I want to study and things like that. It's never happened. I ended up to be in the business school. I ended up to be a dancer, like a professional. And then I'm grateful for this journey because I
Yeah.
fell in love in this, and I have been like over 16 years a professional dancer, world champion, etc. But I had this kind of like, okay, I know how to be present on stage. I know how to share this energy with people. But of course, I was very in life, like in real life, was shy. I was very disconnected from people because I was not aware what does it mean to be too sensitive, or some people call it empathic, whatever you call it doesn't matter. So for me, it was always too much. And I was trying to interact with people as less as possible. So of
Yeah.
course I didn't know that I can go on stage or like teach something, and especially, connect with people on very like intimate level, because when people
Yeah.
open up their soul, not just on a mind level, it's a completely different conversations. I didn't know. It's just came from, sometimes highest power, universe, God, however you call these forces, put us in a situations that we feel like a struggle, a challenge. But what it actually does for us is actually given to us as a big gift with love, that we start to unpack our gifts, come back to who we are. Of course, it's a choice to suffer. It's a choice to be in a survival state, or it's a choice to say, thank you for me being in this crisis situation at this moment when I'm losing everything, what I have been building for years. And I thought in the past, this is my dream. And now you have nothing left from this, literally. And this is the point when you go deep into yourself and start asking honest questions. So for me, like, okay, Valerie, you're still breathing, you're still here. What you can do? And it's like that's how it gave a birth to also one of my podcasts is Light Up with Val. It's basically how to light up humanity, entrepreneurs. It's not an easy journey, especially when something happens in life. And then going deeper and asking, okay, what kind of challenges I overcame by myself? Combining with my studies, I was always passionate about personal development, getting certification in psychology, quantum psychology, learning all these tools, also being an athlete. So it's kind of blend of, okay, that's what I read, that's what I studied, that's what certification, that's one level. And other is your personal experience. Because when you know what you went through, how does it feel, you're more compassionate to people.
Yeah.
And then I realized I'm really passionate about seeing people, like, I always like to watch these shows when women come, she's completely lack of self-confidence, she's looking gray, right, grayish, even wearing something strange, right, and then she becomes this beautiful confident lady just by changing her look. But also if you fix what is inside, give her healing, gives this power back when she starts to embrace and her lights in shadow. And on top of this, she is also knows how to use makeup and put clothes together. It's a different picture. And it's so like uplifting. And I really believe that when women are healed, they will never hurt other people in general, and especially bring down other women. Like healed women will never be the source of other women tears, families break up, or judgment. And I think it's time when, more and more women are flourishing, becoming leaders. We are responsible what kind of leadership we are presenting. And it's great when it comes from heart.
Absolutely. Oh, that is so powerful, so powerful. So I know you work with, you're helping women to just kind of navigate, transitions and things like that, whether it's a divorce or even, the loss of a loved one, like you said. So what are some questions? So let's just say someone was listening and they were going through some of those things that you help people with. help people with, what are some things, what are some questions you would challenge them to ask themselves?
Well, first of all, why you're experiencing what you're experiencing and what you can learn from this if you're watching it as a movie. Like imagine you're watching a movie about yourself. We can learn a lot from movies, but if you're
Yeah.
the main character, you are the main hero, you're not a victim, but you're a hero. What can you learn from this hero? How can you encourage this hero to stand up and move forward? What kind of steps you could do? How do you see yourself as the, like, coming from this, like being rebirth, like experiencing
Yeah.
rebirth as a, phoenix from the ashes? What is this next glowing version of yourself?
Mm.
Instead of focusing just on pain, just like who did what to you, and being in victimhood. And this kind of my approach to helping people unleash this inner champion, because champion is not a title for me. For me, it's more whom you become on the journey of achieving this kind of title, so to say. And we have this power of a champion, but we also have a kind of victim part of us as well. And it's a choice, kind of, am I on this side or am I on that side? So I think before even starting to work with people, it's great for me to understand if they want to stay there. It's not my clients. I'm not in charge of someone else. I cannot take a person and say, you must, right? It's your choice.
Right. Yeah.
And those who say, no, I want to leave. And I understand I went through hardships, but I also want to experience how life can be delicious, how it can taste completely different. And with these people, step by step, depends on how deep the wounds are, bring them to another, like if it's a bridge, right? And you have to walk this really on the rope, so to say. Very often people stuck in the middle, how you can help them to walk through.
Gotcha. So I also saw, where, so you help people to connect with themselves, obtain self-confidence and inner stability through neuro coaching. So I don't think I've ever heard that term before. So could you explain what is neuro coaching?
Well, basically, it's based on a scientifically proven method that was created by professor of psychology, neurographics. It's just one of the tools I use when I work with people. Again, depends what they want, where they are in life. It's basically creating new neural paths in your brain using visuals. So you're creating some graphs using specific algorithms. I'm not sure if I have here something with me, maybe like just showing how it looks like. It's a kind of blend of psychology, art, and this is how, just one of the examples. It's really graph visual things. From one side, it helps to release lots of emotions, limiting beliefs, and understand yourself better where it comes from. From the other side, it also helps you to grow specific, like new patterns, literally. Or even if you have a business project and you don't know where to start, or there are so many different algorithms, you can really find solutions by just drawing this. It's a great tool for self-coaching as well, and understanding yourself better where your goals are coming from.
Yeah. What is the biggest transformation you've seen in one of your clients?
Oh, well, there was many things. I think what was beautiful is when a woman comes and she really in self-doubt, up to the point when she gets opportunity and she self-sabotages herself, literally not showing up to the point when she actually goes on stage and she is like, now I feel what is to be like, pull my power back means. But of course, to come to the point when she's first time going on stage and speaking in person, like live event, there is some work should be done. First of all, of course, understanding what is the reason why you need to go on the stage, how you're going to serve people, because it's not that we go on stage because we're stars. We're going there to serve. And I think microphone, it's a very powerful tool that you can use either to manipulate or like for not great purposes, or for the purposes to uplift, inspire, and bring something to people's heart to really light them up. And when you find out that I'm actually worthy, I have
Yeah.
so much to give,
Yeah.
and worthy not because of whatever I have, money, status, connections, and network, but worthy just because I'm alive. I was created. This is my worth. And then you start accepting, oh, I have this gift. It's valuable. Even like you have this power and ability to help people be organized, launch their podcast. This is your power. You know how to do that. This is your gift. We all have different gifts. Pull your power back, go on stage, you share with other people. They're happy to learn from you. And like, it's very like energy exchange.
Yeah.
She's so empowered just by, wow, I actually have so much value to share.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some, okay, so, you also say that you have leveraged your expertise in reinvention and personal transformation and guided countless individuals to revolutionize their businesses and personal lives. So that example that you gave was, well, I guess it was business and personal, right? Because they're like, there's no separation. What is
Yeah.
another example, of someone that you saw a transformation in that person? And have you ever been like shocked at the transformation? Like it was so amazing that you were like, oh my gosh, this is like a huge transformation. So yeah, did that question make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think like every case is different, and of
Absolutely.
course it tastes different. It's not that it's all like a magic. There's like
Right.
one person, there's another one. I think for me, it's always the biggest transformation is when people come into this victim mindset. Let's say they go through separation and they blame partner. There's a lot of anger, a lot of sometimes even hate, and hate either towards the partner or herself. Lots of guilt, a lot of shame, sometimes coming from, it's because it's one of the stages, and sometimes it comes from herself because mostly I work with women, or it also comes from family and friends that is telling you that something is wrong with you, why you're doing this, look, right, it's your fault. When something doesn't work, it's somehow always women's fault. So from this point to the point, like when she starts to see her partner not like a monster or enemy, but as her own mirror.
Mhm.
And all the triggers is actually the shadows of yourself.
Mhm.
And when you accept it and see it like this is also me and this is totally fine, and learning how to love. Maybe love is never coming at once, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes transformation, it doesn't really require you to fully love and embrace. But what I've noticed that, this feeling when something is like even physically intense pain, and then it stops, and it's such a relief. And then you're realizing, oh my gosh, I don't even need painkillers anymore. I just feel so good.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most powerful transformation. And when you, from this space, you decide, for example, like start your own business, but you're not doing this because you want to prove him or your, I don't know, friends and relatives that you're good enough and that you're not wrong, but you're doing this for yourself. And sometimes it takes time to really navigate this, where your wish or goal coming from. As soon as it comes from space of the heart, I'm doing this for myself, I love myself, I value myself, then I feel like my work is done. And she's launching something based on her passion, like for example, like fashion, like was always dream to do this fashion shows. Of course, it doesn't start from the fashion show, but to search for the partners, funding, go into the creative processes. And this is the extension when you turn this pain into superpower.
Well, I know you describe yourself, like you said, as a serial entrepreneur. I don't know if I said that at the beginning or what, but so knowing that you are passionate, obviously, about entrepreneurship, what are some different entrepreneurial ventures that you've actually been involved in?
Well, I think starting from my first, it was like a dance school because this was my passion. I didn't know what I'm doing, but I was feeling this. And this was actually when you study them something, even if you do projects in your business school, this was a real world experience when you need to find funding, when you need to make things work, find new clients, and promote in the market that is quite, there are so many different schools and entertainments, etc. Then the journey brought me to like educational industry. Then, of course, also what I've done is property investment, also studying crypto. And I remember I did it in a partnership, and my partner had to deliver a huge presentation, like 2 hours presentation teaching about crypto, and unfortunately had car accident. I said, like, we have tomorrow this huge presentation. People are coming, and I had to jump in, and I had just literally one night to prepare, like actually like few hours before I jump and go to
Wow.
another country to present this. That's how
Wow.
it started. So investing in this and having kind of different deals, like property deals from flipping, buy to lets, lease options, and then actually switching to a completely different world. When I was teaching yoga, it was not really
Okay.
business, of course,
Okay.
it was more self-employed thing. But then transitioning slowly to really starting to do events organization, creating video assets for entrepreneurs, promoting also for the brands. And nowadays is basically coaching and mentoring.
Wow. Okay. Okay. You've done quite a bit, and you're also an author. So you have a book. Is it you have one book, or you have several books, or what? Tell us about that.
I have one book. It's called Unleash Your Inner Champion: 11 Principles to Success. I'm actually thinking to republishing it because I feel like when I was writing this book was a completely different person. And now going through another level of life transformation, I would say it's completely different. What success meant
Yeah.
for me in the past is completely different what's now. And I
Mhm.
also created a self-mastery journal. It's basically for people who want to go into the journey of self-discovery and self-mastery, rewiring their brain on the way to
Mhm.
success. It's kind of more, it's not a book, it's a tool that I'm using in coaching, but also people can use it as self-coaching tool for themselves.
So you said that what success used to mean is different from what success means to you now. What is the difference?
I think this is the point, right? From which space you are setting your goals. Is it from proving something? Sometimes people are, even if they like, I don't know, 60, 70 years old, and they're still trying to prove to their dad or somewhere else that they're good enough. And I think many years I have been trapped into this game because life is literally a game. The question is what kind of game you are playing and
Yeah.
what kind of rules you are creating. So I was playing this game. I need to prove to this person and that person that I'm like good enough. And I have a goal and I need to reach it, whatever it takes. So I'm reaching, I'm successful. But I think nowadays for me, success is when I'm in peace. When
Mhm.
even though like today I had, as I mentioned to you in the beginning, like
Yeah.
3 podcasts, I had meetings and some admin stuff to do. But at the end of the day, I'm feeling relieved. I'm happy that I had so many opportunities. I met you, like
Yeah.
I feel like amazing person, right? Connecting with a lot of people, this is gives
Yes.
me peace. And
Yeah.
for me, it's already like teeny tiny success because I'm not anxious, I'm not in fears. This was one of the days of my life. And who knows how many of days we have, right? Based on this, of course, I have goals. Of course, I have vision for my next chapter in life. But the question is how this journey is going to taste. What
Yeah.
will be the quality of this path? And when you go through healing, you're starting to value and be grateful for even small things. And for
Yeah.
me, this was like huge transformation from being
Yeah.
the person when it's never enough, no matter what you have, or actually having everything what you have and not being happy.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
having what I have and being happy. For me,
Yeah.
it's success.
Yeah. So, and I know we're, kind of getting toward the end of our interview, but what kind of advice or tips or anything would you share with the audience that would be helpful? Like if you had 3 tips, to share with people, what would those 3 tips be, in terms of, what you teach people? So what would those 3 tips be?
Well, okay. Well, I guess have this honest conversation with yourself. What do you want? Because very often when we already have a very established life, whether it's partnerships, whether it's business, set the goal, especially nowadays, it's the end of the year, people are setting goals. I'm not setting goals anymore, living towards my, as I mentioned, desired reality life. Have this honest conversation. What are you creating? Because we're creating every single second. And you will be surprised, like, if it's really aligned or not. Another part, I think, if you already realize what you want, is to be really honest if the surrounding people are going to fit to this new life or not. Are you willing to let go something or not? Are you ready to take this leap of faith or not? It's not bad. It's not good. We just choose what kind of life we want to experience. And there is unlimited amount of scenarios we can live in different spectrum. Just choose what you're ready to experience. Then life takes you to this roller coaster, so to say.
Yeah.
And third is, of course, I think it's so crucial, gratitude. Like, how can you start developing? I think it's a beautiful book I had somewhere, Magic. Like, there's 28 days of gratitude. If you read it, start to cultivate it. There are many incredible techniques every single day. Magic really comes to your life from small, teeny, tiny things. And I think this contributes to this quality. So ask yourself, how can you improve the quality of your life, but not with these physical things or buying more things, materialistic things, how to say, but more like emotional fulfillment, mental health, even physical health. How can you take care about yourself better, that you feel good without connecting it to other people, for example, or some material things? Because partner or money or whatever you're seeking is a bonus, but it's not who you are. And it's not the source of your fulfillment and happiness.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that is so powerful. So honesty in yourself, like honest questions, just really be honest with yourself, right? Was like the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, because
Alignment.
you gave a lot. Say what the second one was again.
Continuation, basically, how aligned environment.
Alignment. That was the
and what the life actually, from the spectrum, what kind of life you choose.
Yeah. So honesty, alignment, and gratitude were the 3 key things that that I got from it. So that's definitely I would, totally agree. Now, tell us about your podcast, because I know you have a podcast and you're interviewing, you're being a guest on podcasts, you have your own podcast, your pages, all that stuff. So tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, Light Up with Val, it's all about helping women to reinvent themselves and reignite their life and build a fulfilling business. So I do invite sometimes guests who are sharing their perspective, how they built their business based on their passion. They're sharing different expertise about, sometimes it's about business, sometimes it's a personal development mindset, sometimes it's a blend. So the podcast is all about that, lighting up people.
Yes. Yeah, we forgot to even, kind of highlight that, because that is like your tagline, right?
Yeah, light up with Val.
Light up, yeah, light up with Val, yeah. That is just so cool. I just absolutely love that, and I can tell by, when connecting with you, that very powerful thing that you share, and being a light to others, and shining and showing them how to be the same, right? And so I absolutely love that. Do you have any closing thoughts before we and then share how people can reach you? So closing thoughts, and share how people can reach you.
Well, closing thought, I think, continuation of what you've just said. Again, the choice. We all can light up or actually drain each other. So it's the choice. And I invite everyone to find this light inside of yourself, no matter if now everything is fine and amazing. It's even easier to do. If you're going through some life transitioning situations, find this light inside of yourself and think. I think the biggest healing happening when you stop thinking about yourself, but when you go and share it with others. So share this light, whatever you have to share. And if you need support, I'm Light Up with Val in Instagram, Valerie Kim, and all social media platforms. Happy to chat, uplift, whatever you need, answer your questions.
Yeah. That I just, love everything, that you have been saying about this. I'm so thankful that you got a moment out of your busy day, like your third interview today, I believe, to come and spend some time sharing with, the audience and those that's listening or watching. I really, really appreciate you. And so just so that the audience will know that all of the information to connect with you will be in the show notes. But if you are on Instagram, just look for Light Up with Val. Is that a hashtag?
Yeah.
I figured so. Yeah. So Light Up with Val, and you'll be able to find her on all of the social media platforms. And yeah, so I am so thankful for you coming on and showing people how to light up with you, Val. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you for
joining. Yes, I appreciate it. All right, so that is it for today's Organizedpreneur podcast. Make sure that you listen and subscribe and share with other people. Thank you so much. This is Aldreama and Val signing off for today. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Have a great day.